welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mr. Craven. All right, guys, it's back. With Summerset, I've been able to give rebirth to the build that I used for so long, and it kicks so much ass. What I love about this build, first and foremost, you don't need an advanced altering weapon. You don't need it, and it still kicks ass. It will blow people away. Summerset has given rebirth to this build for me. I'm really happy. Thank you, Zoss. And with no further ado, let me introduce you guys to the rebirth of the Nuclear Devastation Build. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so this is a Destro build. You're going to go ahead and see max Magicka is at 38,523. Magic recovery currently is at 1491. I am a vampire, just not up to that stage. Once you hit stage 3, your recovery will hit up close to 1600. So you should be good. Max health 18,935. Spell damage currently 1890. I will give you a heads up on that. Spell crit on this side is 47%. Keep in mind you're going to need to use your spell critical and your spell pots to get your major sorcery, and also to get your major prophecy, major sorcery, and major prophecy. Those pots are very important with this build because you're bar swap. Okay, to the left, you're going to see Magicka all allocated at 64. Nothing into health. We're using max Magicka, max health. If you want to use recovery food, you can do so. It's not necessarily needed with this build, okay? Like I said, I am a vampire stage 1. Once you hit stage 3, you'll get the recovery bonus. And we are using the apprentice Mundus. Okay, now to the back bar, you're going to go ahead and see that our max Magicka is now at 40,000. Magic recovers at 1491. Once again, that'll get bumped up. Morning, Robert. Max health 19,461. I really like to stay around between 1920. Once the Evans applied, I'll be at that nice 20. Really nice. Spell damage 1890. Once again, that stays the same. But you'll notice my spell crit's at 53%. So that's why I said make sure you get those pots for your major prophecy and major sorcery, especially major sorcery with this build. Very, very, very important. All right, so let's get into the sets here. For those who are familiar with it, the primary set that was used on Nuclear Devastation in the past is the Scathing Mage, and now with Summerset, bam, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back, everybody. Why am I using this set? Simple. It's going to give me 500 spell damage. It's really, really nice. Really love that set. And I'm also going to be using, oh yeah, the War Maidens. Now, there's a trick to War Maidens here. Now, notice that I told you guys that my spell damage is 1890, right? And I'm going to remove a piece of the War Maidens because it gives me 386 spell damage towards my magic damage abilities. So when I unslot it and go back in, there's no reflection in tooltip, okay? But the Nirnhone will still scale with that base percentage towards Magicka damage. So just a heads up, guys. That's why you're not gonna. That's why it seems so low. Everybody's like, oh, it's 1890. No, it's more than that. It's just not reflected in the character sheet. Okay. And once again, War Maidens, awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it paired together. So these are 2 statics. There's no zero ability altering weapons. None. Zip. Nada. I don't want it to be. I'm not going to use it. Why? Because I want to keep this 2 sets static at all times. It's going to give me the most towards my damage output. So I'm going to use it. So if you're a player who doesn't even have it, don't worry. You can put this build together and you're still going to kick ass. I promise you. War Maidens. Okay. We got the Inferno Staff, Nirnhone with increased enchantment. We got the Lightning Staff of War Maidens, flame damage, Nirnhone. We have, yep, the Valken Scorpion ain't going to change. Heavy, infused max Magicka. Jerkin of Scathing Mage, infused max Magicka. We have the Valken Scorpion, divine, max Magicka. Notice this is medium, and this is heavy to maintain the Undaunted passive of 6%. We have the Waist of Scathing Mage Divine's Max Magicka, Gloves of Scathing Mage Divine Max Magicka, Breachers of Scathing Mage Max Magicka, Shoes of Scathing Mage Max Magicka Divine. Okay, so 3 infused on the big pieces, the rest divine. We have War Maidens, Bloodthirsty, increase. And then we have 2 infused with recovery. Okay, so 1 Bloodthirsty with the increased and 2 recovery. All right, really, really nice. Really liking that. Okay, so let's go ahead and now also keep in mind, if you need more penetration, you can switch out for the lover. So heads up, that's what's really nice about this build. If you have a group that has enough pen, use the apprentice. If they don't, just grab up the lover. It's been calculated to offset that. Okay, so let's get into the skills here. Primary bar. I am going to be using the elemental weapon for my spammable. Right? Why am I doing this? Well, one thing, it's going to add damage to my light attacks. It's going to apply status effects. So remember, when concuss comes up, that's going to increase my damage output. And then keep in mind, in the Sigic order passes, spell orbs is going to do what? When I get 5 spell charges, I launch a spell orb to the closest enemy, dealing, oh, that's right, magic damage. And I'm using what? War Maidens. What's also really nice is light attacks can also proc the Scathing Mage. So I can literally just keep hitting light attacks. It has a very low... Okay, there it is. Light attacks is a form of direct damage. Okay? It's a form of direct damage. So if anybody asks why this instead of funnel health, very simple. I'm getting extra from the spell orbs. I'm getting those passives, and I'm weaving anyways. So I'm really, really liking it, and it's a nice low cost. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Okay, unstable wall. Now you want to use this. Do not use blockade. Why unstable wall? Because when the effect ends, the barrier explodes, dealing what? 3,289 direct flame damage. You want to increase your odds to proc Scathing Mage. That's why unstable wall is a lot better than blockade, because it has a direct effect applied after. Okay, crippling grasp, once again a direct effect, then dots applied. Okay, really, really nice. Merciless resolve, pretty standard. If you don't like it, you can swap it out, but I keep both in here, and I do suggest to raise up the critical values. Plus, it's nice. Minor Berserk, you're going to usually get from your healers, but, you know, you get that nice light attack, right? When you're dealing light attacks. So you're doing a lot of light attacks, light and heavy attacks with the build anyways, due to elemental weapon, and that'll keep your Merciless resolve uptime, you know, consistent. It'll just be consistent throughout the rotation. Can be a little hard at first, but it is a really nice skill. Impale, no surprise. Shooting Star, love this ability, love it, so I'm going to utilize it. Single target. Now keep in mind, in the Destruction Staff, I have to have a Flame Staff. I have to have a Destruction Staff ability slotted so I can increase my damage done with single target abilities by 8%. Same thing with Lightning Staff. I have to have an ability slotted to get 8% towards my AoEs. Okay, even though this is an AoE effect, I want to go ahead and put it on this bar so I'm getting 8% towards my other direct damage abilities. Okay, back bar. Okay, so remember we got 2 AoEs here, so we're going to put Thunderous Rage as our alternative ultimate, right? So we're going to use Sap Essence, once again, direct damage. This is AoE direct. So it has a chance to proc Scathing Mage. Now, Twisting Path does not. If you want to use Refreshing Path, you can. But if you want a little bit more DPS, take the Twisting Path. Really nice. Once again, Race Against Time. I really like this. Add it to it. This is going to go ahead and give me my Minor Force. It's also going to generate Spell Orbs. And once again, I really like that. So it makes it easier to maintain between the Elemental Weapon and the Race Against Time throughout the rotation. Siphoning attacks, this will help you maintain your Magicka, because once again, you're going to do what? You're going to be weaving throughout your dot duration abilities. So just once again, really, really nice. If you need Harness Magicka, slot it, but with this build, you have more than enough life. You shouldn't need it most of the time. Inner Light to boost up the max Magicka on this bar, and we're going to get that Major Prophecy. Now keep in mind, you will still need the pots due to the back bar. So you need a form of Major Sorcery and Major Prophecy. I do recommend the pots. Okay, so there's that, and let's get into the champion points here. Starting off into the Apprentice, we have 28 points into Elfborn, 64 into Elemental Expert, 22 into Spell Erosion. Over at the Astronaut, keep in mind we're going to be weaving. We want to take Staff Expert up to 9.17. Direct damage effects are going to be 21.18 with 61 points allocated. And Thaumaturge is at 61 points allocated. Over in the Warrior, we're putting 40 into Ironclad, 18 into Spell Shield, 43 into Hardy. I am a vampire. I don't want to drop that due to the recovery. So even though I am a Dunmer, I upped it just a little bit more at 1208. Thick Skin 611. Light Armor at 43. And then, of course, Quick Recovery is at 909. Coming into the Tower, we have 23 points into the Warlord. The Lover, we have 75 in Tenacity, 75 in Arcanist, 37 in the Healthy, 20 in the Tumbling, and 20 in the Shadow Ward, and that is how the champion points are allocated. Like I said, guys, this is nice. I love this build. I'm so happy because, you know, I was like, I'm going to be doing a lot of light attacks with this build. So I'm going to once again redirect any ability that's going to give a dot and a direct damage effect to keep the uptime. So some people be like, why not Burning Spell Weave? I don't have a lot of flame damage. Putting Burning Spell Weave on anything but a DK is almost a waste. You don't have as much consistent uptime in comparison to Scathing Mage. It's true. I'm sorry, but it's true. So I'm going to prefer Scathing Mage on the Nightblade versus Burning Spell Weave. I have a better uptime, so I'm going to utilize that. Plus, it's giving me my critical values, so I can adjust things accordingly due to content. And this build really performs well. Love it, and I know you guys will too. Welcome back to Nuclear Devastation Build. I'm Mr. Craven, this CSO Daily. Once again, thank you, and have a nice day.